We are literally like all one, which I just think is such an important thing to like know. And it's such a, I don't know, I just feel like the world is a more beautiful place if you see things like that and you understand that we're all connected. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's videos, I'm gonna be talking about the 12 laws of the universe. And it's just basically about like, it's just, yeah, like the laws of the universe, how the world works, how the universe works. And I just think some of the laws are just, they're just very like nice and mindful. And I feel like even if you're not necessarily spiritual or anything like that, I just think these laws just show you how to just live a good life and just be a good person and to be more like mindful about your actions and your thoughts and your feelings and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to share them with you guys in case you don't already know them. Yeah, let's get straight into it. The first law is called the Law of Divine Oneness. So what this law means is that we're basically all connected. Like we as human beings, we are connected, and just throughout the universe, like everything is connected basically. We're all connected, we're all one. And so like with this law, it's to do with like how every thought or action or whatever is like, everything is all connected. It's literally all connected, and we are connected to each other and to one another and to anyone like just everyone in the world. Like we are all connected. And so it basically states that what you do to others, you're basically doing to yourself. So for example, in a negative way, if you are being mean or horrible or like, you know, you have negative thoughts and feelings about others, then you're also thinking and feeling that about yourself as well. In the same way that like if you're showing love and compassion and just being an overall good person towards others, like you're also doing that to yourself, because it affects you too. Like others around you are connected to you, and so it will affect you. And so with this law, it basically just states like be mindful of that and be mindful of what you choose to like put out into the world and how you decide to treat others and see different things and treat the world in general. Like even with nature and stuff like that, we're all connected. What you think and feel about the world and nature and all that kind of stuff is going to have an effect on it. And the same way with other people as well, like it's going to have an effect. So it's just mainly about like just being more compassionate and thoughtful and really like understanding that on a deep level we are literally all one. Like we're all one, which I just think is such an important thing to like know. And it's such a, I don't know, I just feel like the world is a more beautiful place if you see things like that and you understand that we're all connected. Then the second law is called the Law of Vibration. So what this law states is that every particle in the universe is constantly moving and constantly carrying energy. This includes things that we already know, like the sun and the stars and planets and just energy in general, but it also includes people, and it also includes your thoughts and your feelings. So when it comes to people, this would explain why like you can meet someone and you can just naturally feel whether they have good or bad energy, or like you might not necessarily feel it all the time, but there may be certain people you've come across and you're like, this person has such good energy, or you know, like they just feel very, very positive, their energy is good. Or you might have also come across someone and you can just feel that they have like bad energy. And this also involves your thoughts and feelings as well. So your thoughts and your feelings create your reality, and they contain energy in themselves. Like they have enough energy to form things in your reality. So it's just being very mindful of how you use your thoughts and feelings, because they carry energy and they have the ability to create things for you. So use it in a positive way, even towards yourself. Like your thoughts and your feelings towards yourself carry energy, and that is going to end up manifesting or creating certain things for yourself. So it's just about being very mindful about where you put your energy and how you use that energy that you have. The third law is called the Law of Correspondence. So this law basically states that there are patterns repeat themselves throughout the universe, basically. Personal level, this means that your reality is a reflection of whatever is going on inside you at that particular moment. So it's about understanding that life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. And this even includes like bad or negative situations that you might encounter in your life. It basically states and explains why, like, if there is chaos and fear within your life, it's probably because there's chaos and fear within. And in the same sentence, if there is peace and calmness and love and all this amazing things in your life, it's probably because there is that within you. So with this law, it's about understanding that if you are currently in a situation that you perceive as negative or bad for you, don't see it as like, oh my gosh, this is so terrible. Like, see it as a chance for you to figure out what is going on inside you that may need healing within. Like, what is this situation showing you? Because all it's really showing you is that there's something going on within you that has created this situation, and it's given you an opportunity to heal that thing, to figure that thing out, to heal it, to do what you need to do to heal yourself from it. Otherwise, you're just going to end up experiencing that again. And I believe that you will end up experiencing like the same thing over and over again until it finally clicks, until you get it and you're like, okay, this is a pattern. There's something going on within me that is creating this pattern. Let me figure out what it is, heal that, and then you move on to bigger and better things, and you won't experience that negative pattern again. Then on to the fourth law. Now this is the most common law, the one that everyone knows, which is the law of attraction. But for me, I deal with the law of assumption, or just the law. So with the law of assumption, this means that like whatever it goes back to your thoughts and feelings. Whatever you assume to be true for yourself, or you assume to be true for the world, is what you will experience, what you will get in your life, basically. So if you have assumptions that the world is such a horrible place, that people are always mean, that, you know, the world is very scary, or just anything like that, like whatever you assume to be true, you will experience. And then again, if you assume that the world is such a beautiful place, everyone is lovely, you always get what you want, I don't know, you assume that, you know, money is easy to come by, it's easy for you to get money, like all of these things, then you will experience that. I did another video on why, like, for me, the law of attraction is just not it. I don't believe that it's because you are sending out positive energy and all that kind of stuff and then it comes back to you. It's more about your thoughts and your feelings and what you decide to focus on, where your awareness is, that will then create your reality for you. And that goes back to what you are aware of being within yourself, you will then experience. So, and whatever you assume to be true for yourself, assume to be true for the world, you will then experience. We have the fifth law, which is the law of inspired action. So this goes with the fourth law, which is the law of assumption and manifesting and all that kind of stuff. And it's basically about trusting your, like, when you get those little like urges or like nudges or like hunches to do a certain thing, it's about following that thing. Like, that is inspired action. And when it comes to manifesting, especially if you're trying to manifest something, you will eventually reach a point where you just, I don't know, you just suddenly get this, it's a very natural urge to just, oh, let me go and do this thing. And it's leading you towards that manifestation. So it's just about like listening to yourself, listening to that internal guidance that you have. Like, you already have everything within you to know what to do. Like, if you want answers, if you want to know what to do, ask yourself. Like, literally ask yourself. You can do this in meditation, you can do this before you go to bed. Like, just ask yourself the question and you will be shown an answer in one form or another. You'll be directed to do a certain thing, you'll be directed to a certain person, to a certain article, to whatever, and you will receive the answer. So it's just about listening to that more and understanding that you don't have to always be so in control and so obsessive about controlling things. Like, sometimes you need to just quiet inside, either meditate or just do something that relaxes you and quiets your inside, and then just wait for the guidance. Like, wait for wait for it, for whatever it is you need to know or you need to do to come to you. Like, you don't have to force things. You really don't have to force things in this life. It's also about like allowing the internal guidance and knowing that like there's so many possibilities and so many different ways that things that you want can come to you. But if you have a very like, you know, blinders, like you just have, no, it has to happen like this way, it's going to be that much more harder for you. Whereas if you listen to your internal guidance, you quiet your mind, you allow the understanding and the knowing that there is so many ways that this can happen for you, you then allow room for like all these different possibilities and all these different ways that things can happen for you. And instead of being very like one track minded and no, it has to happen this way, or I have to do this to do that. Don't. There are, I can't even say the number. There is a ridiculous amount of ways that things can happen to you. And you will notice this as well more like when you are manifesting things. Like the way that you maybe thought this manifestation was going to come for you, is going to come to you, is nothing like how it actually happens. It always happens in such an unexpected way that you within your human mind could never have predicted or thought of. So it's about just allowing that and allowing for the possibility of all these manifestations and things that you want in life to come to pass. Then we have the law of perpetual transmutation energy. Basically, what this means is that on an energetic level, everything is constantly like evolving or fluctuating. And basically, every thought is preceded, every action is preceded by a thought. So again, you know, your thoughts create your reality. There's nothing in this world that is here now that didn't first come from a thought, basically. And it's just, so with this law, the best way to understand it would be that if you've ever been in an experience where you're around negative energy, you're around negative people, you're around negative things, and you can just feel your own energy like draining, your own positive or high, whatever you want to call it, you can just feel that within yourself draining. And so with this law, it's more about understanding that you can use that in a positive way, and basically the like higher energy can transmute lower energy. So what that means is that, for example, if you are around someone that is being negative or has a negative outlook on life or anything like that, like you can help them transmute that energy to something positive. You can help change their perspective. You can help them see it in a different light and allow them to also have more positive energy and more positive thoughts and feelings about whatever it is they're going through, or just about like life in general. So it's just about being very mindful of that. And again, like knowing your power, knowing what like all the goodness, what love and compassion and all of that can do for yourself and also do for others. Then there is the law of cause and effect, which is pretty self-explanatory. We all know, we already know what cause and effect is, but it's basically more about knowing, I guess it almost comes, in the same way that you might understand karma, for example, that the same way that, if you decide to do something negative, and again, it comes back to the law of divine oneness and all that kind of stuff. If you decide to do something negative to someone else, fine, that may happen, but there's going to be a time frame. There's going to be a time where that is going to come back to you. So again, it's just about making sure that whatever you choose to do, whatever thoughts and feelings you choose to have about others and all that kind of stuff, like just remember and be mindful that this is probably going to come back to you at some point. So be nice, be a nice person, have compassion, don't do anything negative or spiteful or anything like that. Like it's not worth it. We're all connected, so why would you want to do that to someone else? And at the end of the day, it's going to end up coming back to you anyway. So yeah, just take the high road and just don't do that. Then you have the law of compensation. So this law is about that statement, like you reap what you sow kind of thing. So whatever efforts you put out there, you put into the world, you do for others and all that kind of stuff will then also come back to you and affect you in a positive way. It's also about understanding that if you are seeking something, if you have a desire for something, then you have to be willing to contribute something towards that, whether it is putting in, like, more than likely it's about you actually putting in the work towards whatever it is. So when it comes to manifesting, for example, you can decide that you want something and do those things to manifest it, but then you also have to do the work as well. Like, it's not just, you're not just going to sit there, visualize, script, think, or whatever, and then it's just going to happen for you. Like, there needs to be something that you also do to get to that point, for example. So it's just about contributing to your goals, contributing to your desires. A way that you can do this just in life in general, I guess, would be, you know, ask yourself, how can you help others today? How can you help others in this world? How can you do more to contribute to what it is that you want in a loving way? Like, what can you contribute to this world? What can you contribute to yourself, to your goals, to your desires? Then we have the law of relativity. Naturally, as humans, we are inclined to want to compare everything in this world. Compare ourselves to others, compare our lives to others, especially now with like media and all of that. It's so much more easier as well for us to want to compare our lives to others, compare what someone is doing on Instagram to someone else, compare, you know, whatever they're showing about their life to whatever is going on in your life. In reality, everything is neutral. So what I mean by that is relativism exists in all things. And at the end of the day, like, it just comes down to the meaning you put to it and the perspective that you have on that particular thing, for example. Like, so for example, if you are not grateful for or perceive that your current living situation, for example, is not good or is bad or whatever, it's probably most likely because you are comparing it to someone else's, when in reality, like, you, again, it's neutral basically, and it's all about your perspective on things. When in reality, you should just be grateful for what you have. Like, there's no need to compare. It's all neutral. So yeah, I guess that law is explained in itself basically, and just for you to realize and understand, like, there is no reason for you to compare yourself to others, to compare your life to someone else's. It's all just based on your own perspective, and you should just be grateful for what you have at the end of it. You have the law of polarity. So this law is just about there being opposites basically. If there's good, there's evil. If there's love, there's hate. If there's happiness, there's sadness, like all this kind of stuff. It's about understanding that these things are just two sides of the same coin, basically. This law teaches you it's more about just like the perspective and what lessons you can learn from the other side of the coin. Like, it's two sides of the same coin. If there is, for there to be love, there would need, for there to be certain things that are perceived as negative, there also needs to be a positive to it as well. And so by knowing that, you can take the side of the coin that you perceive as negative, for example, and see it in a new perspective, see it in a good light, see the things out of that are the more like positive side, and what lessons you can learn from that. And then this goes into the next law, which is the law of the rhythm, and that basically cycles are natural within the universe. Like, there's always cycles. There's the 365-day cycle, you know, how long it takes the earth to go around the sun in a year. Like, there's cycle of life. Like, there is cycles everywhere within the universe. But understanding that they are also natural and they're needed, because I think a lot of us get stuck in the mindset that, like, you always have to be happy. Another reason why, for me, the law of attraction, like, I don't like how it's explained. Like, the law itself is just the law, but I think with the law of attraction, there's a lot of like, what is the word? What would the word be? I don't know what the word is, but there's a lot of focus on like, oh, you have to have positive energy, you have to be high vibes, you have to whatever. That's not sustainable and that's not natural. Like, it's not natural for you to constantly be positive and happy and all of that. Like, it's not natural and it's not good for you. And I think with the law of attraction, a lot of people get stuck and get like frustrated and whatever, because they start to think that, oh my gosh, if I just have like one bad day where I feel sad or I feel negative about things, I'm gonna end up manifesting this negative thing. And it's not like with the law of rhythm. It's about understanding that everything happens in a cycle, and even if you are in a bad situation or you are feeling negative or negative thoughts right now, like, it's just a cycle. All it means is that it's going to get good again. And it's about accepting and understanding that yes, there are going to be like low times and sad times and things that you may perceive to be negative, but everything just happens in a cycle, and that's okay. And it's more about just like accepting things for what they are, and knowing that, yeah, it's just the natural cycle of life, basically. It's just about like understanding to listen to your own inner rhythm as well, rather than like fighting it. So even, for example, like if you have been so stressed and working really hard and all that kind of stuff, and you feel run down, like, instead of like fighting that and pushing through it, like, listen to yourself, listen to your inner rhythm, and rest, do whatever it is you need to do to get yourself back to that good place. Like, just go with like the natural flow of things, and know that everything's going to be okay. And we have the final law, the 12th law, which is the law of gender. And when I say that, it's more about just like the masculine and feminine energy within the world, like within the world, within yourself. Like, everyone, male or female, we all have masculine and feminine energy. Historically, for example, a lot of society has been governed by masculine energy, which is the sense of like, you know, you have to do things, you have to hustle, you have to do all of that, you know, in life, which doesn't allow for then the more like feminine energy of allowing things to just be, and to have compassion and all that kind of stuff. This law is about knowing and being aware of both the masculine and feminine energy, and it's about allowing yourself to have a balance of both. And if you have a balance of both, then you can live your life more like authentically, basically. So yeah, those are the 12 laws of the universe. I hope it's given you some more insight of things you can do in terms of like just how to live your life, and how the world works, how the universe works, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.